Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Kay Dion here. Welcome to another episode of Channel K. Yes, it's been a minute, but I'm back. And I'm so glad that you guys are here with me today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. So as you can see, we have like a different background. I actually just manifested a new apartment. Shout out to everybody who helped me along the way with this manifestation. I had the best support ever, and I love you guys so much. I feel really good. I feel very excited. I feel very connected to myself, and I feel very confident. One thing about me, no matter what's going on, no matter the circumstances, I stay grounded, I stay obedient, and I stay very optimistic. And I know and trust that I'm the operant power and that things are always working out for me. So I'm just like really, really excited to be back and to bring you guys a new episode and to just connect with you guys through this new version of myself that I am still getting familiar with. Like, she's confident, she is powerful, she is courageous, she is unstoppable, and she's very connected to her voice. And I'm really allowing myself to flow authentically. I think in the past, if I'm being honest, there were some times where I felt like I really did need to censor myself, or I really did need to water myself down, because maybe, like, I don't know, no one was saying this, but I felt like, I was like, oh, am I doing too much? Oh, am I saying too much? Am I speaking too much truth? Like, I was like a little insecure at how myself I was being. And that really didn't do anything but like make me uncomfortable, because when I censor myself, or when I just try to like shrink myself or water myself down, like there's no other way to say it, when I am moving in a way that's like playing it safe, like I'm not expressing myself authentically, and that's not me. I have to be me. I cannot be any person other than me. And it is what it is. Like, it is what it is. I've tried to shift and like be a little different, or I've tried to like be other people for other people, and it just never feels good. So didn't mean to get off on that rampage, but I just wanted to let you guys know that, hey, this is me. And I'm comfortable and I'm confident in this new version of myself. I'm in my new story. I feel like I talk about new story and self-concept a lot. And I always say that like your story is going to update as you change and grow and evolve and ask for more. And that is what you're seeing right now. I have asked for more. I have manifested a new reality. And girl, this is nice. I can get used to this. I can really get used to this. But it was very triggering in the beginning. And I didn't know that I was going to be triggered. Well, I knew, because as you grow and as you ascend, you're going to meet new layers of yourself, because certain things are going to require you to change and be uncomfortable, because change is uncomfortable. And this is one of the most uncomfortable shifts that I have made, and it triggered the fuck out of me. And, like I said earlier, when you are in transition, the best thing that you can do is stay grounded and stay connected to source, stay connected to God. It can be weird because like you're tapping into a version of yourself that you've never experienced before. I've said this before, but for me, like it was all peaches and cream. And like, I was just like, okay, I'm about to get a new spot. I'm moving. But when shit started shifting in my 3D, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I deserve this. I don't know if I'm allowed to have this. What if I can't afford this? What if? And then all the negative stuff started coming in, because I wasn't connected to who I am. And I forgot, oh yeah, I'm a child of God. Like, the universe got me. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am allowed to have nice things. I am allowed to be successful. I am allowed to be intelligent and beautiful. I am allowed to be amazing. I am allowed to be me. And so, yeah, it gets a little rocky when you are asking for more sometimes, but that is what we're here to do. We are here to ask for more, shift and sort ourselves through the contrast, and really develop a strong sense of self and become the best versions of ourselves while we're here. So I manifested a new reality, and everything's different. Like, and I was developing it mentally for so long. I was preparing myself, doing the visualizations, doing the affirmations. I actually just listened to my Parrot app. It was an older recording where I was saying, I'm so grateful for my luxury apartment. And like at that point, when I recorded it, I was living on my friend's couch. And so now we have the apartment. Like, so it's just like, I was laughing at it because I was like, girl, we really manifested that, you know? But yeah, I was terrified when I got approved and excited at the same time. And just like, you know, I was like, oh my goodness, but this is everything that I wanted. A new reality, a new place to shoot my content, a new home, new vibes. Like, this is such a beautiful, like, part of town. It's perfect for me. It's close to my family. Like, it's just like, it's everything. And it took me a little minute to feel worthy of that, like feel worthy of this. Like, I'm not going to lie, girl, I was wavering. I was going backwards a little bit. I was like very triggered. I was very negative. In the beginning, I actually, like, my sisters came and visited me and we had the best time. My mom came and visited me and we had the best time. I spent time with my father. Like, so I've been around a lot of family members and I love my family. There's no shade to my family at all, but my family triggered my old story a little bit because the last time I saw them, I was an old version of myself. So I was kind of like thinking to myself, like, I was like, damn, like, how do I fucking show up? How do I act? It was a little difficult and triggering to like to see them through the eyes of the new story. It was a little difficult. I have stories that I actually wrote for each of them, by the way. I affirm positive stories for each one of my family members every day. So when I saw them in my 3D, some of them were fully conformed, others were not really conformed. And so it was like triggering me a little bit because it was like, I was in the middle a little bit. What helped me shift into my new story with courage and confidence was accepting myself for the bad bitch that I am. Point blank, period. Accepting myself for the bad bitch that I am and being her out loud. Like, not just in my mind, not just, you know, a mental thing, not just an alter ego or whatever. Like, I finally had to accept that, like, I am really that bitch. Like, I'm very talented. I am beautiful. I'm educated. I'm smart. I'm funny. I'm very outgoing. I'm very charming. I'm very feminine. Like, all my affirmations, like, I literally was just like, no, I'm going to be her. Like, there's no point of me hiding from her. And I feel like I wasn't fully accepting myself. And I wasn't fully expressing myself because I felt like I was going to offend someone, or, you know, maybe I would be too much for somebody, or like, there's just a number of reasons that I decided in my old story that I didn't deserve to be the best version of myself due to trauma, due to just my upbringing, due to not wanting to step on anybody's toes, due to being like the elephant in the room, due to being like a very like black sheep sort of person in my family dynamic. Like, I always carried myself in this sense. In the old story, I dominantly carried myself in a way of like, okay, I'm just gonna like not fully be me because like I don't want to do too much, you know, like shit like that. And trying to carry that energy into the new story was not gonna cut it. No. Because then I start losing things, right? It's like I manifest shit in that I wanted and I worked hard to manifest, like thought hard, like did the mental work to bring in the manifestations in the 3D. But then like my energy isn't aligning with the new story energy. It's like the old story. So my 3D is reflecting back a very wavering, hot and cold split energy, things kind of working out but not working out, men being really inconsistent with me, money being really inconsistent, you know, things like that. Like, I decided that I can't live like this. It's unacceptable to live a lifestyle of inconsistencies and me sort of being depressed and then me being happy some days. And then like, this is just not an acceptable way for anyone to live. And I knew deep down that there were some things that I wasn't addressing within myself that needed to be addressed in order for me to confidently be the best version of myself. I knew that. And I just felt like I could hide it from myself. I felt like I could continue to like be this really exciting, awesome, fun, high energy content creator and just like not really worry about like not address some of the things from my past that I really needed to address. But as you can see, like that sort of way of being is not sustainable. No matter how much money I'm making, no matter how many opportunities I'm getting, no matter how beautiful my apartment is, if I'm not addressing the deep wounds, if I'm not doing my shadow work, I'm not going to live a fulfilled lifestyle like with unconditional happiness. Like I'm just not. So I had to do some work. And this is like last week, last month, like recently, like I had to do this work. I'm still having to do this work. We're never going to get it done. Sorry. I'm just making sure we're recording and everything's good. But yeah, I'm never going to finish this journey and no one is, but the most important thing is to be on the journey. So I had to accept myself for who I am. But before I could do that, I had to ask myself, why am I not accepting myself? Why am I not excited about my successes? Why am I sort of scared of them at the same time? You know what I mean? As me being excited. Why am I excited, but I'm anxious, right? Like, why am I like really, really wanting something? And then when I get it, like I'm being weird as fuck about it. Like, why is this? Why is this the case? Let me go to my notes because I had put some tea in my notes, girl. So I was sick and tired of the wavering, right? Like the kind of insecure, kind of confident. This guy will do something nice for me, but at the same time, he don't be texting back half the time. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be dealing with an inconsistent life. Like I want routine. I want consistency. I want to be confident, like dominantly. You know what I'm saying? And step one is forgiveness. I always say this, but I feel like forgiveness is a little bit of a journey. It's not an overnight thing. I had to forgive myself because like the old version of me was I would harm myself. Like trigger warning. I used to like rip my hair out. I literally would just like pull my hair out. I would like be so excited that my hair grew. Oh my goodness. I would be taking my vitamins. I would be doing my hair growth oils, all the things. I would be eating, the good foods and everything. And my hair would be growing in. But then like 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, I would just wake up, go to the bathroom, look in the mirror, and I would just pull my hair out. I would just pull it out. there's no way to, I have no explanation. It just came from a deep-rooted self-hatred, deep-rooted not wanting me to grow. I think it was a reflection of like me sabotaging my own growth. So I would just like rip out my hair. And also like it came from a place of like, I was so depressed at a point that like I couldn't feel shit. Like I would try to tap into my emotions. Sorry guys, it's a little hard to talk about, but at a point I was like so depressed that I couldn't feel shit. Like I tried to feel, but I couldn't feel like happiness. I was disconnected from source. I was disconnected from God. So I couldn't feel positive, right? When you're not in alignment, you're negative. You're a negative person. You're depressed. You're not seeing your worth and value. You don't think things are working out for you. You are constantly seeing evidence of the opposite because that's what you're manifesting based on your point of attraction. So in order for me, I think to physically feel a pain or emotion, I would just rip my hair out. And I have to smile when I say this or else I'm going to go back down, and we're not going to go down. We're raising the vibe, but it would be so bad that I would have bald spots. I would come up with excuses to my barber. Like I would be like, oh, I'm sick. I'm not going to come in today. Or like, oh, I got to travel. Like she to this day doesn't know. She might see this eventually and be like, bitch, but like, yeah. And that is one of the reasons why you guys will see me in a lot of photos and stuff, like wearing scarves and stuff. Shout out to my scarves. I love my scarves. Like I will wear them anyway, but like I especially was trying to cover like me pulling my hair. So that was something that I definitely did a lot. And my best friend like caught me doing it one time. Cause like when I'm nervous, I start doing it or whatever. I don't do that shit anymore. So one time I like caught my friend, my best friend caught me doing it, and she fucking flicked my finger so hard. I was like, bitch, like, so it's like, I keep people around me who know my story and know my triggers and like are, hold me accountable and things like that. But, that among other harmful behavior that I would do to myself, I had to like ask myself like, bitch, why are you doing this? Like, why are you blocking your blessings? Like, why are you doing this? So, girl, I really have been very grounded and very much in a meditative state because I had to just really dig deep, So not only did I have to deal with myself and like forgive myself for those, for that behavior, I also had to forgive myself for the way I carried myself before I knew how to love myself. Like, even though I was unconscious and unaware and ignorant to my own worthiness and my own value, I still had to forgive myself for that. Like, it's not that I was doing anything wrong. I just was unconscious. And so when I was unconscious, I was manifesting a lot of bad shit in my life, a lot of people who came in and treated me like shit, and I forgave those people, but I didn't necessarily forgive myself, like in a way that truly allowed for me to properly heal, I think. So yeah. And when you don't forgive yourself, you still see yourself through the eyes of the old story. And when you don't forgive others, you still see them through the eyes of your old story, through the eyes of that pain. Like, you will still view them in a negative light, and it's going to fuck with you. And it's going to fuck with your emotions. And this is so serious. Like it's all about self-concept, right? Your self-concept is how you view yourself. If you have a negative self-concept, you're going to continuously think negatively about yourself. If you have a negative view of other people, especially those who hurt you, if you can't get past it, if you haven't forgiven them, then you're going to continuously be triggered each and every time you deal with them or think about them. And I decided I'm not finna live my life like that, baby. I'm not. Because you're disempowered when you are not in alignment with the Most High. I would rather forgive you and wish you the fucking best so that I don't have to relive my trauma. And I would rather forgive myself and be the best so that I don't have to sit in my trauma and live a traumatic fucking mindset of a lifestyle, like, no. So I had to actually intentionally spend time alone. Let me make sure I'm good on time and everything. I'm going to get a better camera very soon. This one will run out after 30 minutes or so. It's really frustrating. But I had to intentionally spend time alone. And this was hard for me because I love spending time alone. I'm not gonna lie. But when I get used to when I spend time with one of my SPs or my friends, and I get used to being around them, especially because I spend time with people who get me and who know the law and study the law, and spiritual friends. I only surround myself with people who are like me, a little bit, for the most part, like me, not exactly like me, but so I get excited to be around my friends and everything. But sometimes I can be a little bit dependent on that excitement, or, I get in my little zones where I want to spend time with people. And then I kind of get a little off track, and I stop really doing my work, and I am sort of feeding off the happiness and the joy and excitement I get from being with other people. And I get comfortable in that, you know what I'm saying? And I stop really doing my work. And at the same time, that can be coming from a place of me avoiding my demons. When I'm not focused on myself, when I'm not doing my work, when I'm not grounded, and I know this because sometimes I'll be trying to pretend girl, I'm good. I don't need to do my meditation today. I don't need to read. I'm still good from last week. that was a powerful message last week. I am still feeling good. Da, 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 da. But no, bitch, I have to do it every day. I have to do it every day. Honestly, if I'm not consistent with my work, then old parts of me will like show up. Like I'll be anxious, nervous. Like I will have like this unsettling fear in my spirit. And that is no way to live. Like it's unacceptable, like I said before. And it's just like, nobody deserves to live like that. We came here to be happy and free and experience this loving, exciting universe and have fun and really just like have fun in this physical world. And we didn't come here to stress or have anxiety. And whenever you're stressed or you have anxiety or you feel uncomfortable, it's because you're not in alignment with your inner being. Like you're feeling that discord that Abraham Hicks talks about, where you are not in alignment with your inner being, literally like what I just said. And that's how you know that something's off, is by the way you feel. And usually that happens when I'm lying to myself. And I say this to my clients. I'm like, don't tell yourself a lie. Don't lie to yourself. If you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling weird, it's more than likely because you're telling a story to yourself somewhere, somehow, that you're not worthy, you're not abundant, you're not deserving, and you're not good enough. And those are all lies. And why, like, don't lie to yourself. You should tell yourself the truth, that you are amazing, you are beautiful, you are worthy. You just switch it. It's the opposite. I got a little too comfortable with not doing my work, right? And, you know, like if I don't connect with myself, I won't understand why I'm living in fear or why I'm sort of having these feelings, you know? In the old story, I would like just do things that just would give me short-term gratification, like short-term happiness. Like, you know, smoking, drinking. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I still drink my tequila, but I'm more of a responsible, intentional drinker. Like, I don't drink to like just avoid shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll drink when I'm enjoying time with my friends, and you know, if it's a fun occasion like birthdays or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say like I don't drink, but I definitely use smoking as a tool rather than just be high as fuck all the time like I used to avoid what really is happening in my mind. I made like a little bit of a list. Oh, guys, I used to like travel to just distract myself. I would travel, be at the beach all the fucking time. I would just buy shit. Listening to music. I love music and I love podcasts, and I literally can go on and on with music and podcasts all day long. And I can just like distract myself in these subtle ways to avoid going within. And, you know, eventually it bit me in the ass when I had like a breakdown recently and I manifested some negative ass shit. And I was like, I really just have to stop avoiding myself, and I have to address what really is, the wound that I have been avoiding. So I decided, bitch, go ahead and address it. Go ahead and address it. Go ahead and unpack it. This is a personal journey. This is you and you. This is you and you. This is you and you. So you need to do what you need to do so that you can let in what you've asked for. Okay? So do what you need to do. I knew the whole time what I was avoiding. But I was like trying to play this game with myself. Like, bitch, you don't really know. Like, bitch, there's nothing to address. Like you're good. But truly, I had to just like analyze myself. And I had to really just ask myself, bitch, why are you not allowing yourself to be amazing? It's just the weirdest thing. It's like I do all this work so that I can be amazing, or that so I can, you know, manifest in like really amazing things and like have a great life. But I'm not allowing myself to have a great life at the same time. Like, it's so weird. And I'm like, girl, why are you doing this? And when I was 15 years old, I might have been 16, I was sexually assaulted by 3 of the boys at my high school. And I've never said that out loud ever before. Not even like in the comfort of my own home. I've never said it out loud. But that is what happened to me. And I didn't ask for that, and I didn't deserve it. And when it got out, basically I called my friend, who I thought was my best friend at the time. I called her after it happened, and I told her, and I think we were like on this break from school, because I remember there being a few days or so before I went back to school. And I just remember when I went back to school, I walked in the cafeteria and everybody was fucking staring at me. And I just remember like instantly knowing that like everybody knows something, like, but I don't know, like, you know, what the fuck. Basically my friend was like a fake ass bitch. After I told her, she ended up calling one of the abusers and kind of like questioning him about it. And, you know, like he denied the whole thing. He said I, you know, obviously lied, made it up. I did not make it up. Oh wait, no, he didn't say I made it up. They said that I wanted it. I didn't want that. I said no over and over. And they didn't listen to me or respect me. And so like that, going through that, you know, like made me, it obviously made me feel powerless, and it made me feel like my voice doesn't fucking matter, and that like I don't matter. And like everybody in the school somehow like they came up with this story that I'm like a slut, and that I wanted that, and that I was just some loose girl who just wanted to fuck everything. And that was never who I was, isn't who I am to this day. And I never like defended myself. I just allowed people to decide whatever they wanted about me, because at that age, I didn't have the words for it. I didn't have the wisdom or the mindset for it, but I knew that I knew the truth, and I knew that the abusers knew the truth, and that was enough for me. And I somehow like, I was depressed, but I was just like a functioning depressed person. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I just was very strong, I guess, and like managed to still do well in school, but not have any friends, and do well in sports, but not fuck with any of my teammates because everybody was bullying me. I became like the joke of the school. I became the joke of the county. I became the joke of like even the next town and the town after that. Like, this was in a small town. And if you're the butt of the joke, or if you're the school slut, or if you are the center of negative attention, like it was extremely powerful. Like, laughing because I don't want to cry about it, but like that was my life. Like, they made up a name for me that I won't bring light to, but like everyone called me this name like behind my back. Like, I was bullied on the internet. Like, I would just go home and like read tweets. I was like addicted to reading the lies about me. I would just like go home and be like, what are they saying about me today? Like, what are they saying about me? And I would just like, I was like feeding myself the poison, and I was addicted to the poison because I don't even know, like, I can't explain like why. Like, they had to come up with a story to cover what actually played out. So they blamed me, and everyone like just ran with the salacious story, and no one, not even my quote unquote best friend, like had my back or defended me. She decided to take the side of the abusers, and she changed her whole identity within a few days. Like when I went to school that day, like that was the last, when I went back to school the first day of, you know, everybody knowing or whatever, that was like the last day she kind of like was my friend. Like she switched her identity and switched her whole personality and decided to be on the side of the abusers and the attackers. And she decided to be the ringleader of this whole cyberbullying thing. Like this is hard to explain because I did put it in a box in my mind and I shut it because it was such a dark point in my life. But it's remarkable how I made it through because I literally said nothing. Like I literally just allowed everyone to talk their shit. And I went to school and like nobody said anything to my face. Like everybody was online with the shit and behind my back with the shit. And it made my school experience very depressing. I was the only Black girl. There may have been 2 or 3 other Black girls. It was like a predominantly white school. People sexualized the fuck out of me after that happened. Talked about my lips, talked about my boobs. I remember like guys would text me that I didn't even fucking know who they were, but like word got around that I was just the girl who was going to be down for whatever. So like random dudes would text me and like I just got like this attention based on the narrative that was created about me. And I remember people's dads would like try and fuck me. Like it was hard to be taken seriously. And I was a very smart girl and I was a straight A student, sometimes B's. But I actually ended up like getting the best scholarship out of all of those motherfuckers and like moving to New York and like pursuing my degree and everything. Like I overcame all that shit despite, you know, the bullshit is kind of what I'm saying, but like it broke me. Like that broke my confidence and broke my self-esteem in ways that I didn't realize that it would deeply affect me to this day, because I just decided like, oh, okay, like I'm never gonna like meet a guy who's gonna like, no one is ever going to take me seriously because this is like my scarlet letter. Like this is like this is what I'm known for. Basically this thing that happened to me that I guess I clearly wanted like 3 men to attack me, like boys to attack me. I guess that's what I fucking wanted. Okay, bet. Like, if that's what you want to believe, you know, I think that, I don't know, everybody's different with maybe this opinion, but like, I do think that sometimes like when news is so like traumatizing or when it's so negative, like, and when people don't have the balls to like explore it a little bit, they just victim blame or they shame the victim because it seems like the easier and the more comfortable thing to do. And I just feel like that's what a lot of people decided to do. Plus people are weak-minded and people want to believe the negative over the positive. I also was just such a beautiful queen and didn't recognize my worth and value and my power back then. And I definitely know that other people did. And so I was just like sort of an easy target. I've always been tall and very athletically gifted and very academically gifted. And just, I had these gifts and talents and things that like, you know, made it easier for people to want to bring me down. And plus that happened. So, that is one of the things that I had locked away, in my mind. And I felt like all I have to do is be like a pretty bad bitch who has a college degree, who travels the world, who makes good money, who is like very, you know, like just very fun and charismatic. I just felt like all of the other things, I could just like cover it up. I could move to a different city. I could go to Fashion Week. I could start a YouTube channel, help people, give back to the community. I could do all these things and be successful, and then it would just go away. But it didn't go away. It stayed in my head for years. And I definitely know that that's why I, you know, sometimes feel like, oh, you know, I don't deserve this. I'll just settle for this. I don't know. Like, I thought that like, and this is like, I've thought about this a few years back. Like I was like, maybe like if I go viral on YouTube or something, like all those bullies are gonna come out of nowhere and like remind the world like what I went through, or and there's so many like things that I'm not even explaining. Like when enough people are saying some shit about you, you almost lose yourself. It's possible to lose yourself in the lies, and to the point where you're telling yourself that that's who you are subconsciously. And I just thank God that I never let that get the best of me. It got a great deal of me, but I never felt suicidal. I'm grateful for that. And I know that is something that like not everyone can say. And my heart goes out to anyone who has struggled with that. But I've never like wanted to take my own life. And, I never like tried to, or anything. Like I was severely depressed. But like my depression shows up in the most unique ways, to where like you will never be able to tell. Like I just lock it away. I literally can be depressed and like be smiling. Like I literally can be depressed and be working every day, like 2-3 jobs. Like I literally can be depressed and like niggas will not know. Like I don't know how to explain it. I think like I heard my sister say it, like highly functional depressed person. Like I think there's a word for it. I have no idea. Please tell me in the comments or something if you know. But like I literally I put my sadness and frustration and pissed offness into sports. I put it into getting a scholarship and getting the fuck out of that town. And it wasn't fucking easy, but I would eat my lunch in the cafeteria, in the fucking bathroom sometimes, or I just would skip lunch and like try not to be seen. There were good parts of high school though. Like this wasn't like, there were good parts that I'm not talking about right now. I was a state champion high jumper. Like I was so dope. Like at a lot of the shit that I did, there were a lot of like hating ass bitches. And, like I said, like I didn't know what a fake friend was at that time. I didn't know what a toxic man was. I was like very innocent, and I was like very kind and loving, and I've always have been. And I just kind of thought that like, oh, if I'm smiling and if I'm kind, then I'm being genuine. And if you're smiling and if you're being kind, then it's genuine too. And like, no, I learned the hard way that there are horrible people in this world who will betray you. And so like, believe it or not, all of the people involved have been forgiven long ago. I forgave them a long time ago, and I just didn't deal with myself. I had this like intense type of empathy where even as I was going through it, I forgave them because I knew, I don't know. And we're not going to get into like how deep my empathy goes, because when it comes to abusers, I have forgiven all of the abusers in my life. Like at a young age, I forgave them, and all the toxic friends and all the fake people. Like I've forgiven them, because they know not what they do. And they are also extensions of God. So I have to forgive. And, I think I just wasn't forgiving myself. I think like I did blame myself for a lot of years, because I've always been so nice and so kind, and I will never change that about myself to this day. I take pride in being who I am, and I know that kindness always wins, and I will never not be kind. But what I will do is set boundaries, and what I will do is protect myself, protect my emotions, and watch my back. And girl, I'm about to say, if we lost the audio, that would be so bad. But yeah, I blamed myself for being so fucking kind and loving. And I felt like, oh, I'm the shy girl. I'm the quiet girl. That's why I was targeted. This was my fault. And I think that's why I just like didn't forgive myself for so many years. And I forgave everybody else, because I was like, but yeah, I didn't fucking deserve that just because I'm nice, just because I'm kind. That doesn't mean you can prey on a bitch and, you know, fucking ruin her a lot of years of her life, you know. And I'm not even going to give away that power because you didn't ruin shit. You made me better. You made me stronger, and you helped me get into alignment with my purpose so that I can tell my story and help others. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Like, I got stories, bitch. This is just one. This is just one that I have kept in for so long. I know my parents wish that they could have helped me. I know they do. And obviously any parent would. If they could have, they would have. I'm not mad. I don't hate my parents. I love my parents. I'm not mad at anyone. No one's to blame. No one's to blame. This is a powerful thing that I went through that helped me be me. It helped me be me. But I wanted to also like just talk about how like, yes, so it did lead me to feeling powerless. And it led me to feeling ashamed. Like I was like ashamed for some time. Like it's that actually can happen. Like you can be the victim of a sexual assault and then all of a sudden you're ashamed of yourself. And I like was like ashamed of myself and my body. I felt like my body is disgusting. Like I went through this whole thing of like hating my boobs, hating my hips, like literally hating the way my vagina looks. Like I went through a whole thing of that. And my lips. Did I say that already? Like I went through a whole thing of like hating like the parts of my body that people that like can be seen as sexy, and people have told me like this is sexy. Like that would scare me and trigger me. Like I don't want that attention on me. Like I don't want to be sexy. Like I don't want that. So I was like ashamed and scared of it. And I was scared of sex and intimacy for a long time. I was also like, I lost confidence in my voice. And I'm so proud of myself right now. I'm so proud of myself right now. I'm so proud of myself right now because I can't believe anyways. I lost confidence in my voice because I said no. I said no. I said no. I said no. I said stop. I said I don't like this. I said no, please stop. And nobody listened to me. So I felt like it fucked with my already struggle of like speaking up for myself, right? Like it made me like not want to speak up for myself or not care to for a while. So I wasn't confident in my voice, and that, yeah, it just made me feel very small. So even though I was having successes, like I was a great high jumper, the best in the state, mind you. And I was always getting good grades. Always traveling, booked and busy, baby. I still wasn't really confident in my voice, you know, like I still was very insecure. And didn't go after any sort of relationship that I felt that I was worthy of. Like girl, it's been a struggle with, the love life. We are finally in a healed place now. But yeah, I didn't think I deserved a good guy. I didn't think I could attract a good guy. When that happened to me, I was like labeled at this point, like a slut. So the wrong types of guys wanted to be with me, if that makes sense. And like I said, small town. So the next town over was small, and the following one was small. And I played sports. So I'm on the basketball court. Everyone in the fucking stands and bleachers is like, oh, that's that bitch going for a layup. Like everything positive that I did was like overshadowed by this situation that just took precedent over like the light in me. So yeah. And then the way that I was bullied online was like that. Okay. When I did this meditation and when I started asking myself these questions and really like exploring this, I started to realize that like the cyberbullying that I experienced way back then was like, it shows up with like my fear of putting out content, right? Like I love making content. Like I love being creative, and editing is so fun for me. But like actually being consistent with the content has been a struggle in the past because I had been so scared of that happening to me again. I had been so scared of being bullied and dragged and canceled and like slut shamed and all the things online. Like the internet is very fucking powerful. Very powerful. I will say that being bullied online, it was worse than being bullied in the school. Like it was something that it was out of fucking control. I still photographically remember certain tweets about me, and I would go through the threads. Like I said, this was a very toxic behavior. I was feeding myself the poison, and I was seeing all these people that were nice as fuck to me in person and talking shit about me on fucking line, and the likes and the retweets and like all the things. And like people be having Twitter fingers for real. Like people be so fucking got all this confidence on a fucking fake ass internet, but like never had smoke in person. Like you never said shit to my face. And so I knew back then, like many years ago, over 10 years ago, I learned what the true definition of Twitter fingers was, like dead ass. Like when I tell you, this is why I don't judge people, by the way, because of what I went through. Sorry, the sun is kind of going down, but the internet part of it, that like, I never knew how that would heavily impact like me as a creator at this point in my life. So now I like, if you guys ever go to my IG or if y'all be on my whatever platform you'll find me on, like it's going to be hard for you to find something negative that I put out. Like I intentionally put out positive vibes because why the fuck not? Like I'm not going to get on the internet and hurt somebody's feelings or be a bitch or come for somebody, because that's mean as fuck. So that attacked my motherfucking self-esteem, and made me so afraid of success. A couple of my posts, they go viral all the fucking time on TikTok and Instagram reels and shit. And every time I see my numbers going up, I just like put my phone down. I'll be like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna just go do something else. Cause I get so scared. Like, I don't know, like it like gave me anxiety. Like, so it's something I'm still working through. I'm not even gonna lie, but I definitely am mostly healed. And I decided to just take the fucking power away from the internet. Like, fuck all you bitches. Like, fuck the negative and the positive. Like, I'm just doing me. Like, I think Gary Vee said that one time. He was like, the reason why you're so afraid of the negative is because you're addicted to the positive. And he was onto something with that, but I don't think I'm addicted to, I think I was more so addicted to the negative, if I'm being honest, which isn't any better, but like being addicted to anything at all or being overly focused or fixated on one or the other is not favorable or healthy at all. So one time I remember fucking walking into the gym during lunch, and I saw this bitch. She had her phone like this. The way I walked and saw it, it was far enough to where I couldn't like say her name and her hear me or anything. But she was literally showing her phone like this to a group of girls. And on the screen was me. It was literally a photo of me that I had just posted to my Instagram. This was when Instagram was brand new, probably was only out like a year or something. Not even, maybe a few months. It was like a fucking photo editing app. Anyways, I had like made a post on there, and this bitch was showing somebody. And this is how gagged I was when I was in high school. I felt so powerless and insecure that I didn't even address her. Bitch, the me today would have went up to that bitch and, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, like when I saw that, I literally was like, and I just like left the gym and I went to the bathroom, and I was like, I can't face anybody. I have no friends. Everybody's talking about me, like whatever. Like, so, yeah, bitch. But somebody had asked me today, and I'm going to read it to you guys. How do you deal with the fear of judgment. And I'm going to read you what I had like put on my story, because I feel like people need to hear this. And I'll put it on the screen too. But I said, keep in mind that no one will ever know you the way that you know you. No one knows your story. No one knows what you've been through, the battles you faced, or the challenges that you are still working through. So when people pass judgment, they are doing so from their own limited perspective of you. And that perspective is based on their thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions, often due to the way they were raised, their trauma, their childhood experience, or environment. So what I'm saying is their mindset is a reflection of them, their demons, and it should never be taken personally. So basically, judgment from others is irrelevant to your journey, and you don't have to accept any of it as a definition of who you are. So fuck people, respectfully. Do your thing and enjoy your journey. Being comfortable in your body, mind, and skin will create unconditional happiness for yourself, which is how you live your best life. So this is something that it took me years to learn, if I'm being honest. So yeah, shout out to you who asked that question, girl, or sir, I don't know. Like, I don't know, but it's something that we all go through. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that nobody fucking knows what you went through. And nobody knows until I just told you guys what I went through. I mean, and you guys still don't know the depth of it. Like, that's why it's like I had to get to this place in my journey where I'm like, fuck people. I don't give a fuck. I don't care like how you judge the moves that I make, because the way I live my life to bring me happiness has nothing to fucking do with you. It's none of your business. It's no shade. Like, if you spend your time judging other people, like, I feel bad for you. The only person I'm judging is me. The only person I'm working on is me. The only person I'm focused on is me. And baby, I've overcome a lot, and I'm proud of myself. And I'm only scratching the surface. So like, okay guys, I just had to restart my camera. This camera, it puts me through a lot. And I didn't realize that I had the mic like covering my whole fucking face. Damn, you live and you learn. So yeah, I don't fully remember where I left off, but that's my story. And it's one of the things that I just locked away for a long time due to shame and judgment. Like, I was afraid of being gaslit by anybody. And when you're in a very vulnerable position, where you're not really fully sure what you went through, I knew what I went through. But I was so used to the programming of like what everyone was saying about me that was not true, that it was kind of difficult at times to discern the lies from the truth, like the false narrative from the real narrative. Like, it kind of got difficult to decipher the false narrative from my narrative. And that's so fucking crazy because I was the one who went through it. I was the victim. However, when there are so many people attacking you and telling whatever they feel is their side of the story, even though they weren't fucking there or they didn't go through it, like, it's so wild because you almost start to feel like, am I the crazy one? Because I'm the one with I'm the only one with this side of the story and no one else is like saying it. It's just amazing how I still found a way to stand in my truth. And like I said, it did make me fear intimacy. It made me, like, be ashamed of my body and not want to ever feel sexy or be sexy. And like, that was something that I will talk about in another video, like really stepping into my sexuality and being confident in my sexiness, because that is something that I was shamed away from for many years. Basically, like, you know, I just had the type of upbringing where like being sexy or wearing makeup or like being confident in your femininity was shamed. So that's something that I had to learn how to develop on my own and be strong in and be confident in. And it took a lot of work, and it still is a work in progress, but I feel so much more empowered than I used to feel. And yeah, So in order to fully step into my confidence though, and like really just own this new story and this new self-concept and really shift into the winning season, I had to address all of this shit that I just basically told you guys. And I had to forgive myself, and I had to nurture myself and heal myself and allow myself the space to process like the emotions, release the emotions. I went on a long walk the other day. It was probably like 2 or 3 hours I was gone from my damn apartment. And I had cried, laughed, danced during that walk. I did so many things because it was like a form of therapy for me. And I released all the truth that I was not really facing. And it carried over into the next day. I remember being in the gym, like stretching, and then I cried again. And I'm just grateful, and I'm blessed to be alive and to be able to unpack what I went through and not hurt myself and not bully myself or shame myself for those things. So I'm proud of how far I've come, and it takes guts to actually like go there and open that chapter again and like go into that wound. And yeah, but I don't have to do that anymore if I don't want to. And I can speak on it clearly, like without it breaking me. So yeah. So I just like decided to just accept me for me and own that that's what I went through, but it doesn't have to define me. And, although I have been afraid of being judged by it in the past, although I've been afraid of like being judged for it before, I don't give a fuck now. Like if I'm judged for it, like niggas don't know me. Like y'all don't know me. I mean, I love you guys and I love everybody. I love people, but people don't really know don't know anything about that. So whatever you can come up with to judge me, like that's you. Like, I don't know. So, I definitely reached a groundbreaking point where I just accepted my journey for what it is. And all I can do is focus on the now and move forward as a better version of myself and try my best to help others from my own perspective. And so I also decided to own the fact that I am in control of my narrative and I am in control of how I feel about myself. And I don't have to accept anyone else's opinion as truth for who I am. I don't have to, bitch. Like I really don't. And I get to decide my narrative. So I can change the narrative at any time, and so can you. So I just adopted a new story and a new identity for myself. And y'all know what I'm about to say. Affirmations help me align and connect with my new story. I'm not the same. I have a consistent routine that I stick to. I'm more disciplined, and I love being a free spirit. I love going with the flow of the universe. But I know there are certain things that I want. So it's like, girl, if you want those things, you really have to change your life. You know what I mean? And I really decided to stay true to my newfound discipline, my new rules for myself. I decided to be loyal to myself in a way that I wasn't before. And so like I've began to show up for myself a lot more. And I now see myself differently, right? I see myself as a survivor. I see myself as someone who's very strong. I see myself as a very courageous person. I'm a winner. And I've definitely seen myself as those things before, but it's more of a like intense feeling about it now, especially like even talking right now. This is incredibly helpful. I know I'm going to have to edit this. And you know what? It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Sometimes editing the these can be a little triggering for me. But I've come up with new affirmations for myself. So I will read some. So I am the operant power, the creator of my reality, and I get to decide who I am and how I show up in the world. I don't have to let my past define who I am. I am enough. I am proud of my accomplishments. I am allowed to be successful. I am allowed to be intelligent, successful, and beautiful. I am worthy of exciting new opportunities. I am confident and courageous. I am confident and responsible. I use my voice to express myself with confidence. I do not let the opinion of others dictate how I show up. I am free. I am sexy. I am beautiful. I transmute all energy into love. I am a winner. I am successful. I am loved. I am loving. I accept myself for who I am. I forgive myself. I am not ashamed of who I love or how I express my love. I feel like a new woman because I just feel stronger. And I feel like people, nobody can break me. Like at this point in my life, I already been broken. I already fixed myself. I became broken again, and then I fixed myself again. And then it just repeated itself over and over so many times to the point where like, bitch, I'm unbreakable because I'm always going to bounce back. Like, so you can try to fuck with me. Like, you know, I can waver or whatever. I can go backwards maybe for a second, but I'm just going to come right back to remembering who I am, how powerful I am, and that I am a goddess and I am unstoppable and I am amazing and I am a winner and I am love, I am light, and I am worthy. So my advice is to do the work. My advice is to go within and start the journey of addressing the root of what's uncomfortable. And this is good for you. It's not going to harm you. It's going to help you. It's going to be very uncomfortable, but it's going to be powerful. And you're going to love yourself even more. So, yeah, we paid. So I really do think that is going to be it for today's video. I just want to say thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for holding space for me. And thank you guys for always being like here for me as I do this weird ass shit where I'm literally talking to a camera and unpacking some real shit that happened to me and putting it out in the world. Like every time I try not to do this, God is like, hello, you're supposed to be doing the thing where you share your life with the world. Like I can't sleep. Like I can't avoid this. This is my purpose. This is who I am. No matter how many times I try to pretend like it isn't, God continues to put me in this seat right here. And I feel amazing after. And connecting with you all is like the highlight of my life, because I do feel as though like my purpose is to be of service to those who need me, like my people. It's crazy how like the sun is like going down and shit, and I've been sitting here all day. But thank you so much for listening, you guys. I really do hope you guys were able to take something from this. Please remember that you guys can send in your questions, at Channel K on IG, or you can email me, heychannelkayy@gmail.com. And if you guys would like to work with me one-on-one, you guys will find the information in the links of my TikTok and my Instagram, or you can go ahead and email me personally about that. So I love you guys so very much. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next time. Yeah, I love you guys.